Rogar, friend.
You are listening to PWNcast. I am your host, Eli. Speaking to you from Denver, Colorado. It's April 26th. It's patch 5.4.7. BlizzCon is announced, and it's gonna cost you. New episode of Azeroth Choppers and the chat with the devs about WoD. I brought the Honey Badgers with me. The Darkspear Revolutionary, Fries the Mage. What's up, buddy?
What? Say what? What's up, people? Just working all week, and what happened was we talked about, engines and trucks. But the only thing I really want to talk about is World of Warcraft. And no one who I work with knows what that is. So I look forward all week to talking to my good Honey Badger friends. And without that, everything else doesn't mean anything to me at all. So it's good to be back. It's good to be talking about WoW again, and awesome. It's awesome.
Right on. That's awesome. Woo! That's Fries the Mage. And for the Lone Star State, the medic with all the wrong syringes, Mass Medic, what up, dude?
Hello.
That's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
See, you guys didn't listen to the pre-show, so the pre-show, we kind of pissed him off. so yeah, that's probably why. What's going on, dude? Nothing to do with it.
Well, we're at a loss of what we're trying to accomplish in this group. It's awesome. Everything is chaos. Daily life, I want to say, it sucks sometimes. I'm Mass Medic. My healings suck. Other than that, I am excited for this new expansion. I'm not.
He's in a great mood right now, guys.
This is awesome.
This is great.
Right on. And from the ranks of the Lich King himself, the beefy Spamburger. What up,
everybody? Gosh, I've been in real life most of this week. The World of Warcraft has kind of faded into my back burner for the week. We were discussing Hearthstone last week. You guys kind of piqued my interest, and I checked it out, and that has definitely put a dent into my WoW playing this week, for sure. Other than that, what's up, guys? Glad to be here.
Oh, nothing much. So let's briefly talk about what we've been doing in WoW. So we'll start with Friza. What's up?
Well, I did start my account, and I was going to play it this Saturday, and I literally just woke up late, and my parents took me out to eat, and my brother took me out to eat. So I've been eating all day instead of playing, and I got it on, just haven't been logged on yet. It's been about 4 months since I've been active, and still not active, I guess, but it is activated. I will be on tonight.
Have you
so I will be walking around.
Yet? Like, ever?
Have I what? Have I the raids? I completed it.
So it's not.
That was when I quit, though. Actually, you're right. You're right. I went to Garage, and we wiped probably over 15 times.
But then
and I went and tried. Yeah, and then I went and tried to do PvP at that same time, and then that same day, I was getting sapped and stunned all day, and I decided it was the need for a break.
So Garrosh killed you.
Yeah, he basically crushed my spirit and ruined my last 4 months. But I'm back now.
It's not as bad as it was when the content was spanking new. I promise you it's not.
He's not nerfed.
Well, they haven't gone ahead and nerfed him yet, but people have kind of, figured out what to do over the course of 6 months.
Stay away from those giant wheels of doom.
Big wheels are bad, yeah.
Well, it wasn't 15 times. It was 3 times, but it was just too much at that time of the night. It was 3 in the morning, and I was losing, and I was like, you know what? I just need to take a quick break. So that was it. But I'm back now. I'm back. I'm ready to go. I'm happy, and ready to start learning about all this new content and preparing, building my low-level characters that I have, trying to get them leveled up.
Fry's just going to play in all. That's good. That way he won't have to take 6 months off every time his character gets nerfed again. Because I got news for you. The big nerf, the nerf of all nerfs is coming with this last expansion. You're going to be like, wait a minute. They took away Frostfire Bolt. Why did they take away Frostfire Bolt? And the logical answer is because you have Frost Bolt and Firebolt. You don't really need a Frostfire Bolt. And it makes sense if you think about it. But Fryza does have a tendency to get a little bit little bit twiggy, a little bit frozen macaroni breaks real easy, you know.
My emotions are pretty cold.
Very
It gets
very cold.
that was another reason why I quit too. I got nerfed and it was a mess. But I'm back, and you go ahead.
All right, how about you, man?
I'm excited.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell.
No, truly I am. I got a chance to actually read on the storyline of this new expansion, what it's actually all based about. And it's pretty cool because if you actually played like the Warcraft games, you know, if you're an original WoW player, I'd like to say, you're going to follow the storyline, and I'm the dude that loves a good storyline, so I think it's going to be very interesting. Also, I'm excited because, you know, I think I'm awesome, and I can't wait until the next raid comes out so I can go own them.
Come on now, brother.
And we don't call him Mass Medic because he medics a lot. We call him Mass because his head is so big. Just kidding. Right on, Mass. That's awesome. Good. How about you, Span? What's been going on this week in WoW?
I wanted to touch on Fry's back. The only thing that, just for the listeners in our peanut gallery, so you guys know, the only thing that would make Fryza truly happy would be to have like 30 people going, let's PvP tonight, and he would just like be like rolling in the deeps, literally. But
rolling in the deeps.
I wanted to talk about. I saw a video at some point during the week about talking about PvP and something about diminishing returns in PvP. Where who was saying, was it Fraser was just saying that right during your last experience before your break that you were getting like crowd controlled and dying in PvP, and you were getting crowd controlled with
his whole life in CC.
So someone they were saying in this video that for the next expansion they're going to be adding diminishing returns to crowd control in PvP, which means for someone like me who plays a Death Knight, my worst fear is fear itself. Because the only thing I don't have like a trick for is fear. I have to use my trinket. So if they fear me for 9 seconds and I use my trinket and come back and they fear me for another 9 seconds, guess where I'm going? I'm going over the hills and through the woods and all the way to Grandma's house by the time 9 seconds runs out. But if they're doing diminishing returns and someone fears me for 9 seconds and I pop my trinket and they fear me and it's halved, I'm only getting feared for 4 seconds. Which means by the time that fear ends, you're still in range of my death grip, and you're not going nowhere, baby.
This is true, but your bat's a little off. But
hey, well, we're gonna talk about that a little later on in the show.
So basically, what's been going on with me is I did all my farms for an entire week, and I got a whole bunch of Trillium sitting in my bag. Because I need some living steel to go with that Trillium so I can make everybody some Sky Golems. The problem is I don't have enough living steel. So I spent a good part of the week trying to bribe people to make me living steel because I have tons of mats for it. And that's not working so well. So I only got 1 Sky Golem. I'm working on a 2nd Sky Golem. The goal is to make 4, 5 Sky Golems so we can all have something to roll around in. That's the goal. So that'll be coming up soon, guys. What else is going on? Had another very successful night without Spamberger because I don't know where he was, but I tried to call him. He didn't answer. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
So yeah, I can see how that happened. But yeah, we did what do we do? Wing 1 and with Alcoholics Anonymous. Or I think we're called the Rady Bunch. I can't remember.
The guild
so, yeah, they still have no idea that we're talking about them. I didn't say anything to them.
This would be hilarious.
I wanted to, but yeah, it was a great night. We didn't wipe once. And so we just rolled through it. It was amazing. I got a couple pieces of gear. So hopefully next week we go through Wing 2 already. I'm sick of Wing 1. We've already done Wing 1. I don't know how many times trying to get everybody some gear. I'm ready to do Wing 2. and start going through that because this is taking forever. So basically, that's all that happened. We had a successful rating night. I didn't do any PvP at all, even though I said I was going to, and trying to make people Sky Golems. So that's pretty much all I did. Okay, let's talk about the news, guys. BlizzCon is announced for November 7th and 8th. What do you guys think?
Can I ask a question about BlizzCon? Did it cost that much last year?
No.
No, it was 170 or something.
So it was almost that much.
So now it's $200.
So they only jacked it up like $30. They didn't like double the price.
Right. So did you guys? I sent the link to you guys. Did you guys see that there was a benefit dinner with all the devs? No, with like $700 and something
it's crazy,
for this
man.
For this benefit dinner that's going to go to the, believe it or not, the Children's Hospital of Orange County, where just so happens to be they have a chopper shop. But anyway, they're having a benefit dinner. You can go to that. Speak with all the devs. It's like right before. I think it's on November 6th. And
I don't know what a dev is. You say dev?
Developer.
Oh, developers. I thought those were like girls.
He's like, who are these devs you speak of, and where are they?
Like, it might just be worth it.
I mean, did you guys know what he was talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just me.
It's
just me. Okay.
Well, I mean,
I was going to say
starting with developing young ladies at these shows, I got to tell you, if you've never been to like a Comic-Con or a BlizzCon or something like that, they're amazing. And regarding the developers at these shows, they're going to have a lot of great things to show us. I can't wait to see what they have to show me about Hearthstone.
Oh, you're like that one
we
guy.
have a separate
I
have a new favorite game.
Oh my goodness, we lost a man, guys.
I warned you a week ago.
He's down.
Right on.
So who's going to BlizzCon?
I'm
You guys
going
going?
to BlizzCon. Woo! The virtual version.
Virtual.
Oh.
just hang up. What's the point of talking to him anymore?
Oh my God.
What does that cost, Mike?
Well, I was talking to my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, you can go to it." I'm like, "Sweet."
In your dreams.
No, seriously, she said I could go to it. I checked it out. It was like 1,400 miles away from me. I mean, I'm like, I would consider going, but if I'm just gonna go there by myself, it's just kind of weird.
It's a little weird, but you're going to meet a lot of really cool people.
I don't know. I feel like
you could meet Arthur himself.
I feel like that's kind of one of those places that you can go to, but you want to go to like with a group of people that you know. It's kind of like one of those things to go by yourself. I mean, Comic-Con's cool and all that, but you don't have that that group of people who's just completely nerded out on that one subject. It kind of ruins it for you. You're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, if you guys wanted to go, we could definitely try to work something out.
Well, I won't lie. I used to work in a comic book store and in the comic book industry for like all of my teenage years. So it was kind of my job to go to all these shows because my boss was paying for my ticket to go and represent our store. So I've been, you talk about going. You don't really want to go by yourself because you want to go with a group of people. In all likeliness, unless you guys are like using the buddy system, you're gonna get there and probably be like, bye guys, and not see each other for the rest of the day because there's like 2,000 booths.
Buddies.
And there's all those like developing females that you were talking about walking around. You guys are gonna get oogly-eyed. You're gonna turn around and be like, "Oh my God,
you're gonna end up on Law and Order."
I'm gonna go get Lady Savanis' signature. I want to get an autograph for Lady Savanis." And next thing you know, your buddy's gone, and you don't see him until 6
and you're waking up without a kiss.
You surprise her in the back of a cop car. You
assaulted one? I didn't insult. I just wanted a hug. No, I can see that going south fairly quick. Yeah.
Can I say that I'm going to come out and say it. I'm going to come out of the closet.
Woo! Congratulations.
On the air. And just say I am so done with the costume contest.
Oh,
What
I thought you were
is
going to say
the
you're
point?
gay.
the costume
Yeah,
contest, I wish
No.
it wasn't like 2.5 hours long. But I think all the people coming out in costumes is great.
Cosplay is a really
It's
popular
big.
thing.
Maybe it's the 2 hours thing.
Well,
Maybe
no, it's kind of a hobby. Think about it. If you were really
No,
like,
are these people even playing the game?
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know. They're too busy making costumes.
I,
They're not playing the game.
I have a couple of people on my friends list who are like more into the lore and the role-playing part of World of Warcraft than they are into actually playing their game and leveling their character and getting gear. Yes.
It's true. It's true. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But they're having fun, right? So
They're having
sometimes
fun.
when
They
you
view
get
it as
to
a
that,
hobby.
that more serious level of playing this game, people forget that it is a game and it's supposed to be about having fun.
That's
Don't lie.
true.
So
Right.
if you've never been to a BlizzCon or a Comic Con and you've never actually seen parades of people in costume, they're some of the happiest people in the world. I got to tell you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm not against the whole nerding out. I'm just saying, my question is, are these people actually playing the game, or are they just costume people showing up because they know people are going to look at their costumes?
It's
I think
probably
it's
half and half.
I
Take the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, and then I'm glad they kind of got rid of that dancing competition.
Wait, there was a dancing competition?
Oh, dancing troll priest.
It was actually really cool.
Awesome.
No, it was cool. They got rid of it because of insurance reasons, because the theater that they're in, the convention center that they're in, was going to have to pay if anything happened to these people while they were dancing. So because of
Now
insurance
you know why a
issues,
ticket to BlizzCon is $200, ladies.
Wait, you're telling me. I'm not gonna lie. I've played with some people. Most people who play games like these aren't typically the best dancers.
That's true.
I mean, were they trying to
Right.
mimic the dances of the game? Oh god.
Yes.
I think they were, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they had
I'll bring you a video camera.
the turn. They had
Yeah,
the
you
orc.
should
They had all those famous dances.
Oh, it was awesome.
They were,
I actually enjoyed watching
the
it.
voice one was pretty cool.
Oh,
But
yes.
the biggest issue with that one, though, I think the voice one was great. The problem with that, though, is they had too many
Murlocs.
Too many Murlocs.
Oh!
They need to fill them all out before they put them on the stage, because that was another 2 hours of listening to Murlocs and stuff like that. But it was a great idea. I mean, I think it still is. I think it was actually really fun to watch it at BlizzCon. I just wish it wasn't so long. Just like the costumes, I wish it wasn't
When
so
are they
long.
gonna make the Murloc a playable race for the life of me? I've been waiting
Yes.
10 years.
Are you serious? A Murloc?
I would be
Yes,
a Murloc.
Blizzard,
No.
if you're listening, I want to be a Murloc.
I'm very disappointed. I still believe that Lions are going to get the. Oh, I just lost the name. What's the fish? What are they called?
What's the fish?
I just had it in my
The
name.
fish people, what are they called?
Fish saying
Naz-
blah, 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 blah.
No, I was going to say that the Horde were going to be the Hosen. You know, the Horde would get the monkeys, and I
Oh,
would
the Jinyu.
love the Jinyu. I would love to be a monkey in the Horde. I think that would be great. I could picture them with cool costumes. And then the Jinyu is
They
perfect
could get
for the Lions because they're
coolest
all
racial trait, fling poo.
Yes. Yes, I will fling my poo at Garrosh. It's like have everybody in the raid do it at the same time, and it's all fling your poo.
I just don't want to do that quest chain. Everything's going to be ook ook.
Yeah, don't ook him in the duker. I don't always ook, but when I do, it's in the duker.
So far, they haven't said anything about a new playable race or a class.
No, I know. I thought
I don't
they were.
think there's
I
gonna
thought
be
they-
one for this
I don't
expansion.
think I haven't heard a thing. Yeah, anything about it.
However, there is a BlizzCon coming up, and it's very possible that they announce a playable race at BlizzCon, so keep your hopes up.
Alright, so we need to start talking about this whole bike thing. I don't know if very many of you are following up on this whole video. But for me, for one, I've watched several of these bike making videos, and typically it's like 30 minutes and they make a bike. And they did episode 2. I felt as if they got nothing productive done. Any of you guys feel like that?
Yes, I do. It was nothing but hype. We didn't even see it. They didn't put a single thing on that bike.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Well, you got to take into account that they're not doing one episode about the bike for Blizzard. They're trying to stretch it out into like, what is it, eight webisodes that they're doing.
Right.
So yeah, you're gonna get little tiny bits and pieces. I'm probably gonna, watch them as they come along, but I don't think it would be unadvisable to do some binge watching when it comes to Azeroth Choppers at the end of the
No,
season. I think you'll get a lot more out of it.
Right.
Someone's watching it as we're talking about it, I'm sure.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, they're like, well, maybe they'll agree with us. That would probably be a good thing. People, instead of people just saying, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I've been a big fan of making cars and, watching progress go. I feel like once they said, hey, you only got 5 weeks to do this, and they chopped their time in half to make the bikes, because you all saw that, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
And how much progress they got done in one episode, I kind of feel like they're not going to hit the deadline. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's a hype thing. It's all to get everybody all, woo, they're not going to make it on time, but they always do it.
Could it sounds very concerned.
Could it be that the bike's already made?
Yeah, the bike's already made. It's sitting covered up so that nobody leaks any pictures of it. It's already sitting in Metzin's garage. He's already taken a ride on it.
He's already taken a first
with the devs.
With the devs. Oh, yeah, no, it's already made. It's sitting there, and I just want to know how we're going to vote. How are we going to vote? Because I better have a freaking vote.
I think what they're going to do is probably have you log in with like your Battle.net account or something like that. Choose which side you want.
Right, probably. It's probably going to be Battle.net or something. There's going to be a link. Vote for the bike.
But just for shits and giggles, I just want to let you guys know I actually have 4 different Battle.net accounts, so...
You better vote all 4 for it.
He's going to vote 4 times. You got it.
He's going to go Alliance. He's a secret ally at heart.
Hey,
secret. It's no secret.
Just because I play the best of both worlds doesn't mean you have to get mad at me.
So 2 are going to go to Alliance and 2 are going to go for Horde, and you don't really care.
Oh, no, they're all going to go for Horde.
Oh, okay.
Because, they're all talking about, the Alliance bike is going to be smooth, polished. God damn, that's what every bike out there is like.
Yep,
when you have a completely raw, raunchy bike, people are like, but you can't ride that. Who gives a shit? It's going to sit up on a mantle, and people are going to stare at it.
You guys ever watch Count's Customs?
Yes, I've seen that.
He would have been perfect for the Horde bike, don't you agree?
Yes, why are we doing this guy?
I don't know.
To be honest, all I look at when Paulie Jr. is talking are the sizes of his nostrils.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I look at, and he's talking, and I'm like, holy crap, those things are huge.
You're right. I'm not going to
well, I guess we know who plays in Orc now, don't we?
I wouldn't say anything, guys. I think Paulie Jr. will come after Eliada here. So
yeah,
Paulie Jr. is a great guy. You're awesome.
Right.
I don't know.
He's going to stick a
I'm a fan of the show. I like the show.
Look,
seriously, when he talks, I just look at his nostrils.
Well, here's another thing. Here's another thing I was confused about the show. Okay, so you got his dad and the dad and the son, and they hate each other. They probably still hate each other till today. I don't know what the relationship's like. But how better, how greater, and they could have made it on TV instead of this whole 9-episode thing or 10-episode. Yeah. They would have made it on TV if the father built the Horde bike, because he is a big dude, and I can see him making a Horde bike, and his crew makes that, and then Paulie Jr. makes the Alliance bike. Yeah. That would have actually made television.
Sure that would have been exactly what they wanted to do, but these guys can't seem to not fight for 2 episodes.
I think the legality of it all.
They wouldn't see each other.
Right.
I know, but the legality of it all. Think of it. You got to have a whole different company building a completely different bike, and this company building a completely different bike, and they're going to put it on television and pay both of them.
That's a lot of money.
That's
They'll
too
make
much.
more if it makes television. They'll make more.
It's too much red tape.
All I know is that Count Customs would have been great for the Horde bike. He knows all about skulls. He knows all about the graveyards. He knows all about the whole dark side and the whole dark magic. He knows all about that stuff.
He has a couch that's made out of a coffin.
He is perfect for the Horde.
Yes.
Perfect.
Daddy!
You know what I think? I think that this is all a plot so that Metzen actually does have a cool ride to cruise into the on his new bike.
That's exactly what this is.
Show up at BlizzCon like, brum, brum, you guys voted for it. Brr, brr. You know?
Oh god. You know, I'm not gonna lie, they're gonna look awesome, but I've never seen. Well, I guess I have seen. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a snowmobile go down the road before. It wasn't very productive. Have you seen the treads they put on those things?
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous.
What are you gonna get with that? And especially on the what is it? The Alliance bike, right? It has the treads on the front. You know how possible that is going to be to turn that damn thing? And especially if you're driving in the rain or something, that water's going to splash up in your face. It's the worst bike to ride. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Have you ever ridden on a speed snowmobile?
Seen them.
One of the real powerful ones that have like one big tread in the middle.
Yes.
Like those things are like
I grew up in Colorado, man.
Well over 100 miles an hour in the snow, you know. So
yeah, we see them at Bandamere all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Just like those. So I mean, I don't doubt that this thing's gonna have plenty of pickup. My question for 2 weeks now is there a practical use? I would like to see them be used as snowmobiles. That would be cool. And
for Altic Valley, man.
I mean, I'm from Colorado, so yeah, let's go to Altic Valley.
Wouldn't that be great? You know how you can't go up certain hills? Wouldn't that be great if you had that bike, you could go up certain hills?
That would be something.
Other people couldn't.
Yeah, that's not even street legal, first of all. They're not going to allow you to drive it on the street.
No, don't even believe.
But in the game, if you could go up the hills that other mounts couldn't go up, that'd be amazing.
That would be.
I'm not going to lie, probably, yeah.
And you just stay parked like at an angle.
You can only pick up devs on it.
Yeah,
only devs. No one else.
I think that's pretty cool. Right on. Well, all over for me, it's just disappointing. I want to see the next episode. It's not coming out till the 1st or something like that. But yeah, it was disappointing. Let's see what happens. You know, I'll stay with it for now because I want to see the show, but I think I was a little disappointed in it. Let's talk about the chat with the devs. So basically, this lady named Morgan Webb, who I found out Spamberger's got a little bit of a crush on.
Maybe for about 10 years now? Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
So I should clarify what we were saying during the pre-show was I said that it's not necessarily because she is an attractive young female, which she certainly is, but I said that she could look like the all powerful Earth Mother, you know, down in the depths of what is it called, Stonehard. From Direwolf. She could look like an undead creature of the night, but because she knows what she's talking about when she's speaking with these developers, and she as I'm saying, but what about, she's already asking the next question that's coming out of my mouth, and she's been doing this for years. She's got her, how do you say, her ear on the pulse of the gaming news.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
and that's kind of led to the.
No, that's good. So she sits down. She sits down with lead account designer Ian Hazakostas, lead class designer Chris Zerhut, and senior game designer Brian Halinka. What did you guys think about that chat?
I'm gonna throw my little 2 cents into that. I thought it's very cool. I like how they're actually trying to reiterate some of like the old story and stuff like that. I'm not typically a huge fanatic of the whole damage crush that's going to be occurring. Because honestly, like, right now, when you're all geared out and, you know, you can hit 400k or something like that, you know, you feel pretty badass. And they're just going to do this, and people are going to be like, oh, you know, I feel like I'm playing a level 70 again. I think it might have a little bit of an impact in that section, not going to lie. But when they show little glimpses of like the map area and this, like the Horde and Alliance and how they're going to play that all out, I think that looks fucking awesome. I think it looks great. Do you guys have any input on that?
Yeah, you talking about the number squish?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm really not going to care, to tell you the truth, as far as when it comes to healing. For me, when I go out there and I just throw out, I'll just see green numbers everywhere, a few yellow numbers where I'm hitting people. It's all AoE. I'm okay with the numbers. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm not a number cruncher kind of guy or a theory crafter. But when I'm looking at the what is the counter that's on there? What's the counter?
The DPS counter?
Recount.
Recount.
So I got that on there. I'm looking at it. I'm watching it. I'm really not looking at the numbers, to tell you the truth. I'm looking at how I pair up with the rest of the healers. So I'm like, okay, look, I'm doing 24%. I'm doing 15%. Or I'm doing only 10%. Holy cow, these guys are killing me. That's really what I'm looking at. So I really don't care about the numbers because it's all going to be the same anyway. The percentages are going to stay the same when it comes to
it's
count.
less about how high your numbers are and more about in relation, relativity to the other DPSers or the other healers. And
Right.
Well, I mean, that's a very good point. One point that he did say is, I'm a big tanker guy, and he said that what they're going to try to do is switch around the tanking to where tanks don't feel like they're just hitting there and taking damage. They actually have to control the boss for the group, and it's going to be more of like a survival, it sounds like, instead of just, all right, I got aggro, hit him. I think that battles, especially in the raids, are going to be a lot more intense. I think it's going to be more group-oriented battles and stuff like that. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Did you guys get a glimpse of the raid or anything like that they showed?
Yeah, I saw it. It was pretty cool.
That was a pretty cool boss that they were fighting.
Yeah,
whoever it was.
It was cool. They were showing a few of the effects on that film too. In case you guys don't know what we're talking about WoW Source.
Oh yeah, we're gonna post that on the website.
Yeah, we'll post that.
Yeah.
It's
You need to watch.
WoW Source episode 3. She sits down with these 3 guys, and actually in the video they show a few of the spells that mages, where they were talking about mages.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool. And then they showed a little bit of the raid stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I was nerding out when they were talking about the mage stuff. I was like, they're basically talking about me and only me, and I felt really nice. No. Well, what I found great was the whole wearing your PvP armor in world play, not in PvP play. And in Miss Pandaria now, I've always been arguing with people because a lot of people don't really know the facts about PvP. So a lot of the guys would either wear their PvP in the world and go out and do, world policing or go cause trouble. And I used to tell them and say, hey, what's your item level for your PvE armor? And they would say, well, it's 522. And their PvP armor was like, 500. And I say, wear your PvE. And no one understood that PvP armor was useless in the world play. It was, if your PvE was better, is better than your PvP in the world. It's always that way. Well, now they're changing that, and I think that's great because a lot of people, their best armor is in PvP, and they wear that while walking around the world. And if you're in a realm that's flagged, and like they said in the video, the second someone comes down to gank you, and they hit you,
yep.
or you're not in a flagged realm or whatever, if they hit you, your armor automatically goes up when they had a 490.
Yeah, it
switches up automatically.
It was a 550 that turned into a 590 as soon as you...
Right, and it makes you greater than them, unless they're wearing PvP armor too, I guess.
Right. No, I like
that.
But
I think that was great, and I think that's going to end the whole confusion of, if I'm going to go out and try to make trouble, what armor do I wear? It cleared it up for you.
Exactly. And there's a couple times where we get in a fight, and I'm like, man, if I would have just switched my armor before I got into this fight, now I'm in combat, I can't switch my armor. This would be a whole different fight, but I'm wearing my PvE armor, and I can't jump into this battle with my ultimate PvP armor. That would have been amazing. So I think this is a great thing. It's a quality of life change for the game, and I love it.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to give the players that get ganked when they're doing something really more fun time, instead of being like, you've all had that oh shit moment, like you can't do anything and it just keeps happening to you over and over again. I think it's going to help out a lot.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So for you, Spam, they're taking fear down from 8 seconds.
The most important part of the whole video for me was this diminishing returns on crowd control in PvP. That's for me is going to make me even more lethal, I believe.
Right.
But I mean, I was kind of shaking my head and spitting out comments as I was watching the video, talking about, if somebody crowd controlling you and pushing you back or whatever is a problem, learn from your mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to be a jerk, but I do a lot of PvPing, and these guys will be the first to tell you that usually there's a crowd of Alliance trying to kill my Horde Death Knight. In any given battleground, there's usually like 12 or 13 people going after my guy. It's kind of my job. I'm kind of a tank. Even in PvP, that's kind of what I do. But the other thing I want to talk about as far as this video, it sounds to me like they're trying to move PvP in what I feel is the right direction. They want to make the PvP environment in the next expansion a little bit more immersive, so that you're not just like queuing for a battleground or whatever, queuing for arena and then waiting for it to tick.
Yeah.
Let me change my armor. It's time to play. They're trying to make it more of a more threatening, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Like you'll always kind of have to look over your shoulder as long as you're on this new island that they're talking about.
Right. Azran.
And I'm very hopeful for the future, because I've seen it before. The same group of guys that's developing PvP for this next expansion has done like the last 5 expansions. And as I was saying earlier when we were talking about it in the pre-show, Burning Crusade, each different like state, if you will, on the continent of Outland, each of those different zones, each had like their own different PvP element. Like Halal had the whole where you had to claim the center of the island, and then the other zone down in the south had like 6 towers.
The Wintergrass
prisoner, and you had to claim more of those towers than the other team. Where like Hellfire Peninsula had like the 3 arenas, we had to like control 2 out of 3 or all 3 of those in order to get like a bonus. Or to get there were some sort of coins, I believe, in Hellfire Peninsula.
I just want those towers to mean more than they have in the past. And I've noticed that sometimes, you go somewhere and you have the towers, and all it really does is boost you a little bit. But I kind of wanted to bring more, like they did in Mr. Pandaria, where
if you recall, if you think back,
you won and you got the quest.
Zangor Marsh, if you controlled like the 2 PvP graveyards that were in Zangor Marsh, you got like a buff for your whole party. Like,
well, don't you remember in Cataclysm?
Yeah.
What was that?
PvP buff?
You got the raid if you guys took over the. What was that called?
That toll something, wasn't it?
No,
Tolbarad.
Tolbarad. If you want it, you got a raid and you got 6 more dailies to do, which I took it back then as a gift. I don't know why now
they did the same thing with that in Wrath of the Lich King. If you won Winter's Grasp,
you got
also
more
got
stuff.
A raid that you could do.
So I think they're going to do the same thing. I just want maybe a little more. I don't know what I want, but I want to be more surprised. I want something a little more different than that.
Careful what you ask for.
More
we're on a server. We're on a server where like 96% of the other faction is pushing us around.
That's true.
So yeah, be careful what you wish for.
yeah, that's very true. Oh, I was going to talk about Mike. I was going to talk about you were talking about the tanking. I was reading my notes right here, and I remembered it said the taunting, and that's I think what you were talking about when you said controlling the tanks were controlling the bosses instead of us generating the threat. So that's what he was saying. He goes, well, you got a mage in the background who has to stop shooting his frostbow every 3 seconds because he keeps getting the threat from the boss. Well, they're getting rid of that now, and I can just keep doing what I do, keep hitting my 400, 500K, even my 1 million hits when they come, and I don't have to worry about pulling that boss off of you.
Yeah, that's certainly what I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what you said or not. I don't know.
No, that's good. That's a good point.
So,
well, what I wanted to say about Azran is what it appears to me is that as these guys are designing this game, they are learning a bunch of lessons. So they learned a lot from Tolbarad and how we interacted with that, how we wanted to actually gain that reward of winning something winning battlegrounds just so we can get something and pulling everybody together so that they could win it and own it for a couple of hours. Then they're taking the lessons they learned from Landfall, which was, I think, 5.2.
Yeah.
And if you remember that, it was where the Horde had a base in Pandaria and that lower part of Crestran Wilds, and then the Alliance had their base. And what we did is there was a couple of towers you could own, and as you progressed and you went more and more into the dailies, you were able to go more and more into the Alliance base, and the Alliance was coming more and more into the Horde base, and you were kind of watching your back, kind of watching to see if you were flagged, to see, who else was flagged, and then you could also do it in a PvE sense, where you could still do these dailies, and you don't have to worry about people killing you and all that. And they take that lesson, and they take the lesson from the Thunder Isle. If you guys remember the Thunder Isle, where we would progress through different parts of the Isle and open up more and more parts. And if you were doing the PvP dailies, you were flagged, and you were going against other people who were flagged. If you're doing the PvE, you weren't flagged, and you were still progressing and doing more and more cool stuff. And so if you guys remember all of these experiences and you wrap them all together, it's kind of what Azran is. And they're pulling all that into one island where you go, and it's going to seem like a giant battleground, but they don't want it to seem like a giant battleground. But at the same time, there's goals, there's stuff you're trying to do. And I think that's an awesome thing. I'm very excited to play Azran, but he did mention that it's not going to be coming right away. This is something that's probably going to come in 6.1 or possibly even 6.2. So we're going to have to wait for it, but it's still in development, and I think it's awesome.
Can I say one thing? I just want to go off subject here. What you call it, the number squish?
Yeah.
Is that's not going to occur through the whole game, right? That's just when you're in a raid?
I think it's just when you're in WoD.
Because I was thinking if I'm going to be in a PvP, it's going to be weird. Like Mike was saying that you're going to get 400k hits, makes you feel like you're freaking awesome, makes you feel like you're doing damage. But if they're going to do that for the whole game, I don't know if that's what they said. I don't know if that's...
I don't know. What did you guys get from that?
I feel like it's what they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce the max amount of health points you get. Because
so is that
everybody, like if you think about it, everybody after this expansion, if they keep going and progressing the same way they were doing with all the stamina and stuff, everybody's going to be close to 1,000. So I think what they're trying to do is avoid everybody having such high health. So it seems more realistic, I guess, because then you could just be a tank if you were a mage.
But I just got to 1 million, and now you're going to take my million away?
No, you will stay that way. You're just not going to progress very much further in that health points. Maybe like, your parry and stuff like that. I think what they're trying to do is, control the game to where you don't feel like, this just keeps going on, and you don't have that. You're just going to have so much of everything, it's going to just feel boring, because it's going to take you imagine trying to take on a mage, with the million hit points? Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
It's going to take forever.
Yeah.
And then I think they're just trying to reduce that. I think that's how it's going to go. Do you guys have any...
I think it's great that they're taking away some of the controls, too. Too many buttons. As a mage or any DPS out there, if you're a druid, especially druids, you got like warlocks and a couple other people who have a lot of buttons. When you're DPSing, and I think there was so much stuff that I did not put on my bar because I couldn't fit it on there, and I didn't want to use my mouse to click on stuff, and I didn't want to do macros be too much. I had a few of them. And there was stuff I didn't use because it was just too much, but I wanted to use it, and it's only good in certain situations. It's only good if he's at 20% health. It's only good if he's frozen, and I didn't put a lot of those buttons in there because I figured, well, it's just too much. Too much for me to remember when you're being hit by, 2 DKs and they're chasing you behind a box where your healer tries to find you. It's too much to try to figure out where all your buttons are, and I find it great that they're going to down the buttons, they're going to get rid of a few, and I think that's going to be great for PvP. PvE, I've never had an issue with finding my buttons. You stand there, you try not to go into the black circles and hit the fire and that stuff, but in PvP, you're being attacked so much in battlegrounds, rated battlegrounds. You have the flag, like druids, they're in their little cat form and they're running straight down the path, and how are they supposed to remember what to push in what situation when you have 10 people chasing you? You know what I mean? I think it's great that they're making it a little more simpler for those situations right there.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to make it a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, seriously, how many times have you hit the wrong button? You know what I mean?
There's been a few.
And it cost you the game.
Or your death.
Or it cost you the death of the game. You know, I've been there so many times.
What did you guys think about the fact that this time they're going to add people, or they're going to allow people to do max level testing? Because a lot of times when they did, when they allow you to go in there and test, like for a PTR or a beta or something, you could only do, well, you start at the very beginning. So by the time you make it all the way, and from now we're going to be doing from 90 to 100, by the time you make it all the way to 100, the beta's done. And you're like, great, I never actually got to test the full thing. They're actually starting you out at 100 on these certain realms, and you can go from there.
I think it's great.
Wait a second. That's not what he said.
That's what he said.
He said that while the cap is going to be like 92 or whatever it is, that when you log into the raid instance, you will get bumped up to 100 so that you could do the end game raid instance content.
Well, that's the only thing.
And when you leave that raid, you go right back down to level 92.
No, I'm okay with that. I understand that, but that's kind of why you want to be max level anyway, not so that you can walk around.
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get as much perspective as they can about it, because this supposedly is going to be the last patch, so they need to know how to make this game last as long as they can, so they keep getting that jingle in their pocket every month.
So that Ashran is only at max level. You can only be there in max level. I think that's what I heard too. So you're not going to see any 92s, 95s running around there getting ganked by a bunch of hundreds. Only hundreds can go in there.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
I think that was good too, you know?
So I was kind of curious as I'm watching this video, and I'm like, wait a second, who the heck is this girl who's, interviewing? Who is this lady? I don't even know this lady. She looks a little familiar, but I didn't know from where, so I just typed her name into Google, and I was like, oh, it's the G4 girl from
Am I the only one who knew exactly what I was
He's like, hey, look, it's Morgan Webb. How you doing? No, I didn't know who she was, so I did a little bit of internet stalking, and I felt a little guilty. I find out she went on the Tyra Banks show, and Tyra Banks was doing an episode where it was online husbands, and these wives are like, my husband plays video games, and I'm mad, and it's a crowd full of women, and they're like, boo.
I'm guessing there's a lot of wives out there who probably have a little bit of animosity towards Morgan Webb, because I'm guessing there's a lot of husbands who wish that they could have the conversations with their wives that they could possibly have with someone who's also a gamer,
Yeah, that's true. So if you guys are interested in watching that, just type in Morgan Webb on Tyra Banks, and you'll get the YouTube video. It's pretty good.
Was she talking about gaming?
She was on
Tyra Banks?
I think as a kid, she did some commercials or something like that, but she's been in the gaming community for a very long time, and after learning a lot about Morgan Webb, I realized that's the girl I want in that seat.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to
she is, yes.
We could also post that on the website.
Yeah, we can post that on there. So that's it for the chat with the devs. We talked a little about choppers, a little bit about BlizzCon. It's getting time to start wrapping this up, guys. You guys have anything to say?
Yes, someone send me to BlizzCon. That's a great idea.
Oh my goodness. I still have vacation time. I could take it and go to BlizzCon.
I'm a teacher. What do I got to do in the summer?
You got $200
It's November, isn't it?
Well, you got to consider you got the plane ticket in there involved too, unless you're going to drive.
That's if you even get a ticket. From what I hear, you have to just hit refresh. Click, and you're lucky if you get in.
My wife and I are both kind of convention comic people, and my wife kind of reminded me of just what you were saying, that I'm going to have to sit there going click for 6 hours just for the chance to get a ticket,
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to start booking flights and hotels on the chance of getting a ticket.
No, I'm okay. That's a far away from me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go.
I would guess that if I lived in the Anaheim area, that I would be like walking the streets looking for Pepsi cans to turn so I can go to BlizzCon. I mean, there would be a whole nother level of Spamberger desperation to get to BlizzCon. But the fact that it's like 1,100 miles away, maybe a little less, 1,000 miles. Let's say 1,000 miles away. 1,000 miles away, it makes it seem a little bit more daunting of a task.
Well, I mean, if we wanted to, we could.
Yeah, we could. I don't know. We'll definitely have to think about this. We got time to think about it.
Yes. Well, how about the viewers? Let's ask the viewers in the response to this video if they really want to go. Maybe we should take a poll and see what their opinion is, and from there we can decide what we want to do.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes, we'll have the PWNcast community decide if we should meet the fans at BlizzCon.
Well, I would like to give a shout out. I don't know if you guys listen to Roarcast, but I do. I'm a pretty faithful listener to that podcast. It's a couple, Stompolina and Half, and they talk all about World of Warcraft. They've been doing it for like 5 years now. They have so far 234 episodes, and they called it quits. So that was a big hit to me. It's something I've always listened to. One of my podcasts I listen to tons of them. So it's sad to see you guys go. They still have their guild up on boundguild.com. They were on the Zul'jin server. Or you can find them at roarcast.com. That's RAWR cast. Gonna miss you guys. So hopefully you guys, record soon when WAD comes out if you guys decide to do that. So I thought I'd give them a shout out. At the same time, The Instance didn't release an episode last week. What the heck, Scott Johnson?
It was a holiday weekend, guys. I'm kind of surprised that we recorded last weekend.
Yeah.
True.
I'd be okay just listening to Terpster talk for like 2 hours. I don't care. Just give me an episode. And then CTR didn't bring an episode out too.
Same reason. It's a holiday. They gotta spend time with the fam, or they get wife aggro too.
Yeah, I'm just like, I need my episode. I'm fiending for my episode. I'm like, come on,
See,
guys.
there's the downside to being all caught up on your podcast is if ever there's a week where there's no episode, you're like twitching for 2 weeks.
It's true. I gotta have my podcast, and I listen to a lot of them. In case you guys don't know, I listen to the Closing Bell, the Commanding Shout, WoW PvP Cast, Area of Effect, Chaos Portal, Eviscerated, Round Maintenance, Azeroth Roundtable, Training Dummies, Corpse Run Radio, Legendary, Behind the Avatar.
Shout out to the world.
WoW Insider, Let's WoW Podcast, Hearthcast, Meeting Stone, Gnome's Eye View, Azeroth Perspective, Runback Rating, Horde for Life, WoW Files, The Starting Zone, CTR, or Control at WoW, CTR,
just in case the peanut
Passport, Deep Tech, My Epic Heals, Warcraft, Let's Travel, All Things Azeroth,
How are you still
You
married?
did not believe us.
Yes! Those are the podcasts I listen to, and 2 of them didn't come out. I'm upset.
Because the other 27 of them didn't occupy.
Oh, and Torrent Think Tank, too. Triple T. He came out with nothing. What the heck? Come on, Jules.
Well, I mean, the bad news is that I don't have, you mentioned 3 or 4 podcasts that I listened to who didn't do an episode this week. The good news is I'll have plenty of time to watch my Azeroth choppers and play more Hearthstone this week, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm hooked, baby. I'm there.
Right on. Well, I think that wraps it up for us. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Well, I'm gonna be logged on now, so I'm gonna have some new stuff next week to talk about. See if I got some more changes that happened to my mage. I think I am gonna go fire. I don't know yet. I'm gonna get on tonight and I'm gonna do some mathematical.
I call that
some theory crafting.
Yep. So I might go fire only because Frost got nerfed so hard, and I don't think I can personally handle it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm gonna have to change.
Or he's gonna start as Warlock.
Or I'm gonna start a Warlock, and you're never gonna see me again.
I'll start a guy with you tonight too.
What was that?
What was that?
I said I'd start a new character too.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna start one. I'm gonna reserve my copy and get the.
There you go. Boost Warlock. Okay, guys, that's it for us today. You can reach Spamburger at I Eat Spamburgers on Twitter. You can reach Friza at Friza the Mage. And you can reach me, Eli, by friending me on Facebook at Eliada the Priest. Check out our Facebook page at Facebook/PWNcast or our Twitter page at PWNcasts with an S at the end. If you guys have any questions, please send them to our Facebook page for now until we can build ourselves a website. Tune in next week. We'll be having a guest from the Facebook page, Girls Who Play WoW. So I'm very much looking forward to that. From all of us from PWNcast, we bid you farewell. See you guys later.